Hey everyone, and welcome back to another brand new video. In this video we'll be discussing why I moved to Dubai, to Texas. Okay, let's get started. So the first reason is really, to be honest, is just taxes. Simply Dubai doesn't have any income tax and it doesn't have any dividend tax, any stock growth tax. It has nothing of that. You pay 0% on anything and everything besides one point, and that is VAT. And that simply has to do if you buy and sell products in Dubai itself and you make more than 85,000 euros or 400,000 dirhams if I remember correctly, then you still don't have to file for the VAT. If you get above that number, you have to file for VAT, but only on the revenue generated inside the UAE. And I know most people might even say, well, wonder income tax and stuff is coming. Yes, but that's only for the local companies in Dubai. That is not for the free zone companies. So that still won't be applicable to myself. I'm in a free zone company, or in a free zone area, I have to say. And simply that allows me to pay 0% tax. Okay, so since we know that taxes are quite a big deal, and how much money am I actually saving on it? So let me explain that. It's quite simple. So recently when I was living in the Netherlands, I was paying in a BV, that's the same kind of company structure as a LLC is, and I was paying about normally 16% for the first $250,000, and then after that you'll start paying 25% on the company profits. However, you still have to give yourself a salary, and your salary is taxed on 52%. No, that's not a joke, it's actually 52%. So half of the income I was paying myself to live on was going to the government. And since I don't support exactly everything that our government does, I don't like paying that amount of money to taxes. I know the Netherlands is a very good country and their healthcare is perfectly fine. It is a place where maybe in the future, in a few years time, maybe 5 or 10 years, I would probably want to raise my kids. But for now, that is definitely not a thing that I consider. So that's the reason why I also moved away. I think this is a very important reason if you ever want to do this as well. And if you're watching this from the United States, know that this is not a possibility for you. You first have to obtain a second passport, then you have to forfeit your US passport, and then you're able to do it because the US taxes people everywhere. And this also goes for 2 other countries, which I'm not sure. I'll probably do some research and I'll search below. And if it's not there, I probably can't find the information that easily. But if that's the case, you probably know what it is by now. Now we have that all covered. So what I decided to do and why I decided to make this decision to move myself and my companies to the UAE has simply also to do with the amount of time that I was already traveling. I was already traveling for 4 months a year, and I'm still allowed to go back to the Netherlands, but I'm not allowed to be longer there than 3 months at one go, and not longer to be there for more than about 6 months a year, the 183 days. Otherwise I still have to pay taxes in the Netherlands, but of course I do not wish to do because it's so ridiculously high. So the real reason why I also did that is because I do not have to pay taxes, and since I didn't need to pay that huge amount of money, the 52% of my salary and the 25% on my company profits, I'm now able in Dubai to keep everything to myself. So let's say I make 100,000 euros a month. That simply means I gotta keep 100,000 euros a month. Let's say I make 100,000 euros in profits in the Netherlands. So from the 100,000 euros, after all costs, and if I would get the money to myself personally, where we have the company profits, but then also the dividend tax, I have to pay 41% on that. And then also on the salary, I have to pay 52%. So, but don't get that figured out too complicated. It is kind of simple. So the 52% is on my salary and the 42% is on dividend after I've already paid the company tax. So once we have all that paid, then it is simply my money. So let's say on average between the salary and between the dividends, I gotta pay 45%. Okay, so let's say I make 100,000 euros a month. I gotta pay 45% to the government. That means that I'm paying 45,000 euros every single month to the government. What in my opinion is honestly too much. I don't think that is a fair amount. I think the taxes are way too high. Of course, there's a way to deduct it a little bit to make sure that you don't pay as much. But since I was already traveling so much, it was a very easy decision for me to move away from the Netherlands and start my life off in Dubai and now also in Bali. I'm mostly just centered in those 2 places, and sometimes I also like to go to the US. Okay, so now imagine if you have 45,000 euros extra available to you. Now you can travel the entire world and do whatever you want to do. You have no limits really. Okay, you can live a really high expensive lifestyle, but that's not really what I like to do. I like to just make videos, go to the gym, hang out with friends, go to the swimming pool and just enjoy life. I don't want to ask too much in life, and I think I'm very low maintenance. I don't spend too much money anymore. I like to invest money, and I like to invest a lot of money, but I don't like to spend a lot of money. The only thing that I actually spent a lot of money on, like splurge, is flying business class and first class. And that's more because it's a comfort, and it also allows me to win back time. So sometimes I have so many messages that I have to send, is that it's simply better for me to fly business class where I can have my laptop ready and my phone ready, and sometimes even a second screen, and I can just work 8 hours in a flight. And I only do that if I'm flying throughout the day. If I'm flying nighttime, sometimes I also just fly economy. Probably my next flight to Dubai is also economy. Okay, so that's also quite simple. So my flight probably goes at around 12 a.m. Literally, it goes 5 after 12. And then simply, it is an 8-hour flight. So the entire flight, I can just, the moment we go up from 1 a.m. to like 7 a.m. before we go down, I can just sleep the entire flight. So there is no point in me having business class there. Okay, I have a better bed and it's more comfortable, and I probably get some better food. But besides that, it's not worth the expenses cost, because the normal ticket, what I'm looking for right now, is 600, and the business class is 3.5k. And in this one, I can also not upgrade by using miles. So simply for me, that's just not worth it. So what are the downside points of moving to Dubai? The only downside point for moving to Dubai for me personally is that I have to be back in Dubai every 180 days. That means the moment that I leave, in this case that was the 25th of January, I have to be back by the 25th of July. But now I'm going a little bit earlier. I most likely will be there the 7th of May. But that still means that from the 7th of May, let's say I say 10 days, then from the 17th of May, if I leave again, then it takes another 6 months. So then we'll be at the 17th of December. Then I have to be back in Dubai again. So consistently I have to be back in Dubai, and that's how Dubai makes its money. Because everyone has a residency there, they keep coming back and they keep splurging money. Of course, there's a lot of people living there full-time as well. For me personally, full-time living there throughout the summer is just impossible. In Dubai, it gets like 45 degrees, but it's just way too hot. And then another thing that a lot of people will say is, how is the healthcare actually in Dubai? And surprisingly, the healthcare in Dubai is better than the one in the Netherlands, and most likely also better than the one in the US. I've only gone to the US hospitals once, but besides that, never. But if I compare the hospitals in the US and Europe compared to Dubai, Dubai is definitely on another level. And that's not only just in the hospitals, that's also with dental care. And with dental care, I have a really good example actually myself. And that's, I actually had one little gap here. It wasn't a little gap, but it wasn't filled well and correctly in the Netherlands, where they have to remove half of my teeth. And it was like a 45 an hour long thing they needed to do, and it ended up costing like 300-400 euros because I didn't have my insurance yet. Yeah, I know, stupid me. Now I have my insurance, and it's quite easy to get once you have your residency. So yeah, there's no stress about that. So let's line up the plus points and let's line up the minus points. So the plus points is I don't have to pay taxes and I keep a lot more money. The other plus point is that I have to be able to now have additional money that I can spend on travel and also spend on family and whatever I wish to do with that money. Then the third one is Dubai is a really good high healthcare country, and they actually are one of the best countries currently to live in, according to the best countries to live in. Yes, I know that sounds really weird, but it's on number 2nd in the entire world. The only country that tops that place right now is Canada, which I personally do not agree to, because I don't think Canada is really a democracy anymore. But that's just my personal opinion. So I think Dubai is actually one of the best countries you can personally move to. And for everyone who's like between the ages of 20 and 25 or even 30, I would really think about moving to Dubai. If you like travel and just know you make this much additional money, then it is a really interesting option to do so. And that's personally why I decided to move that over and start my life out from Dubai. I also found very much peace here in Bali. So when it's summer in Dubai, I'm here in Bali. And when it's in Bali, it's summer, and it's winter in Dubai, I'll be in Dubai. I know it might be complicated, but just wherever it's like a little bit coldest and also a little bit warm is where I like to be. And then of course, every year I really like to travel. So I travel the entire world as well. And this summer I'll be traveling Europe, and then I'll be back in Dubai throughout probably the entire winter. I think I might stay there for a few months and see what everything is going on there. And I'll probably just move between there and Bali, because in Bali I'll be starting my development program pretty soon. We found some land and we're looking into that. So most likely soon I'll start building my second properties, and I'm very excited for that. Nice. And then the negative points of Dubai is, the only negative point that I honestly really know is you have to come back every 180 days. Besides that, oh yeah, and the summers are too fucking hot. It gets like 45 degrees. Like you literally burn to death. It is not fun, you cannot do anything. And you think, all right, but at night it's peaceful and it might be colder. No, it's not. In nighttime, it will probably be between 30 and 36 degrees every single night when you go to bed. So it's always bloody hot. Believe me, I've been there, I've done that. It's not fun, and that's the only reason why I go in the winters. Because in the winters, Dubai is actually perfect. It's between 20 and 25 degrees every single day. The sun is out, and really sometimes it rains actually. Last year it actually had the most amount of rain, well, early this year it has the most amount of rain it ever experienced, where I had 5 days of rain after each other. But it wasn't really natural rain. They were figuring out that experiment where they can make it rain, and that's also kind of funny because Dubai is really in innovation. Yeah, I said it right, innovation. They make a lot of innovations, and it's really cool what they're trying to build. And I definitely hope that Dubai in the next years will become more greener as well. So it becomes a little bit better to breathe air there, because sometimes it's just too hot. But it is very nice to be next to the ocean. That's really awesome. So it has its plus points, it has its minus points. But I honestly think for anyone that is between 20 and 30 and making at least around 5 figures a month, so between 10,000 and 20,000 a month, it is already a good amount of money to start thinking about moving. You do have to save up some money to pay for all the costs to start the registration and do everything. If you want to have a little bit more questions and you want to ask me some stuff, then just hit me up on my DMs and follow me on Instagram. Thank you very much. And yeah, I'd be happy to help anyone. And if you have questions about YouTube as well, just let me know. And if you have any things where you would say, hey, Wonder, you can improve on that, then just let me know. I'm happy to improve my videos. This is just started for my first month, and I'm curious how it goes. It's quite interesting creating weekly content. And yeah, I want to thank you guys nice. I want to thank you guys always for watching to my videos. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I wish you guys a beautiful day. And yeah, maybe you move to Dubai and maybe you don't, but yeah, it's a very exciting journey. So yeah, enjoy your day.